Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, the time has come once again for the best format currently on Arena, although it only ends up happening only a couple times out of the month. But I'm super excited for this one because I'm jazzed and it's perfectly within our wheelhouse. What exactly am I ranting about, you may be wondering? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into it and explain to you exactly what we're going to be talking about. Alright, so with that, as we're popping up right now on screen, there we go. This is it, everybody. Again, perfectly in our wheelhouse. This is literally what we all come here to do enjoy. So again, as you already know, for those of you long-time viewers of the channel, I love, of course, playing budget jank fun decks. And of course, this Midweek Magic event is set to exactly excel for what we do. So, as you can see right here, it is going to be Artisan Brawl. So that means that we're going to be putting together Brawl decks, not using any rares or mythics to build them. So this is perfect for us. Although this does mean that one of our decks that I was planning for a future video kind of gets a little bit compromised, only just because it's in one of the colors we have yet to cover yet for our long time series. But we'll talk about that again in a bit. In any case, let's go over this real quick. We're going to be, of course, doing this where we're going to do as many matches as we can in this format. And hopefully, again, we're going to try to just finish up the event as fast as possible. Then we will take our budget deck over towards the regular format. This time, however, because of how it's designed, I don't know how long this is going to take, but if we kind of stick to it, I think we can mostly just stick to it here and just kind of stay within the budget. However, if we do finish up the event pretty quickly, then mostly what I might do is we might just convert this over towards actually a full non-budget build, but it kind of depends on how time runs. In any case, let's go ahead, let's jump into it now. Let's pick our deck, and what deck are we picking? As you saw from the thumbnail, it's going to be a Fairy Tempo deck. So, or Fae Tempo, if you will, is going to be what we're rocking today. So, this is going to be, again, a deck that I was actually going to, again, plan for a future video. I don't know if I actually want to do it this way, or maybe I might do another Dimir style deck in the future. I don't know. That's one of those things we'll have to think about for a moment. In any case, let's cover the deck itself in general. And we'll kind of then play as many matches as we can for the Midweek Magic event. So, we're going to be playing, of course, with the card Obira Dreaming Duelist here. So, Fairy Warrior, Flash Flying. Whenever another fairy you control enters, each opponent will lose one life. Nothing crazy, no muss, no fuss. We just mostly just want to bring in fairies, slowly drain our opponent, and overwhelm them with our fighting fairy force to get to our victory. Now, before we do that, as always, let's go over, of course, the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, as you can see right here, long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. As we talk about the stats of the deck, we're going to be showing off that this deck is, as I mentioned, blue and black, with an average mana curve of about 2. We're looking at a total of 25 creatures in the deck, 30 instants, 3 sorceries, 3 artifacts, 5 enchantments, a single battle, and 32 lands. Okay, so as you can see right here, as I just mentioned right now, Obira is going to be how we're going to be rocking this, and we're going to be throwing in a ton of fairies. I think we were able to cram in almost every single fairy on a budget here for the deck to make it work for the event. So let's go ahead, let's cover now the 1-drop slot here. Starting off at the top here, we have Ether Spellbomb. You sacrifice the artifact to either bounce back a creature, or you can sacrifice it to draw a card, so good again from the tempo. We have a lot of counter spells because, again, we are going to be in blue, so we're going to be a little bit naughty on that side today. We'll be countering artifacts and enchantments with this one. We're going to want to make sure we can keep drawing into cards. Some of our cards do trigger off with some more card draw that we have. So combat research here, an aura that enchants a creature. Anytime we do combat damage to a player, we get to draw a card. If this is on a legendary creature, it'll get a +1/+1 pump and ward 1. So a small little bit of protection. This can be helpful for Obira or any one of our creatures. We'll also throw in again for some more card draw here. Consider by surveilling and drawing a card. Curiosity does more or less the same thing as the combat research, but actually you don't have to do combat damage. Any damage that your creature can do, you can draw a card off of it. We'll also throw in as well Curious Obsession, same thing. It'll give a +1/+1 to a creature. Anytime we deal combat damage, draw a card. However, if we don't attack for a turn, you have to sacrifice the aura. So that's one of those things to keep in mind for this card here. For more counter spells, we have Dispel here, countering instants. Fairies here, one of our first fairies we'll have when it enters, Scry 2, so great for us to start fixing our next draw. We have Miscast here, same thing, counter an instant or sorcery unless our opponent pays 3. Opt is similar to Curiosity, but instead we'll Scry 1 and draw a card. We have Ponder, brand new to us from the Omen Paths here, so we look at the top 3 cards of our library, put them back in any quarter, you can shuffle them away if you don't need them, and then later on you can draw a card. Preordain here, also another great card for us, Scry 2, and also draw a card. Slip out the back, great for protection reasons, phasing out one of our creatures if we just want to avoid any kind of potential wraths. But at least in this format, since it's Artisan, I mean, we don't really need to worry too much about wrathing, but it's still good, again, as kind of like future-proofing the deck if you like the deck for what it is. Snare Master Sprite here. When it enters, you can pay 2. If you do, tap down a creature and put a stun counter on it. So again, just kind of slowing down our opponent here. So tiny. Although this is not the most ideal of auras, we threw it in mostly again for flavor purposes. You could flash it in, enchant a creature, and give it -2, -0. You can give it -6, -0 if we have 7 or more cards in the graveyard. We have Wash Away here. Again, we are blue, so again, we're going to try to use this to counterspell, most likely, an opponent's commander for 1 mana. Changeling Outcast here is going to be one of our honorary fairies today. It can't be blocked, however, it also cannot block itself, but again, free damage if we need it. Cut down here for, again, just 1 single mana here, just destroying a creature or destroying a creature with the total power and toughness of 5 or less. Ego Drain here, one of our exclusive cards that we can utilize here as a fairy deck. So again, we can use this kind of like as a very budget Thoughtseize, although again, it has limited use, but it's still good for flavor purposes. We have Eye Collector here. Anytime we deal combat damage to a player, we can then each mill a card. Sometimes this might help us out, sometimes this might hurt us, but it kind of really just depends on the situation. We'll also throw in again Fairy Dream Thief here. So 1 mana, 1/1. When it enters, surveil 1, so good for fixing. And for 3 mana later on, exile the card from a graveyard at instant speed. You can then draw a card, but you'll lose 1 life. Fatal Push here. We are again in the 2 best colors for tempo plays here. So again, we could use this to just destroy a creature for spot removal. Malakar Rebirth here. Again, mostly just to avoid either dealing with, I guess, any kind of wrath that we have, or of course, just any spot removal just to bring back one of our creatures. Nightshade Stinger here. Excuse me. Ugh, that was gross. Okay. Nightshade Stinger here, so 1/1. Creature can't block, but it is a flyer, so just good for aggro. Fairy Fencing here, one of our best removal cards here. So if with this, creature gets -X until end of turn, that will get an additional -3/-3 if we control a fairy as we cast it. So then this can scale up perfectly as the game progresses. Bayeen Veil here, mostly for anti-tempo. Again, give all of your opponent's creatures -2/-0 until end of turn, so softening them up. Or we can use this as a tap land. We have Disdainful Stroke here, another counterspell for mana value, spells of mana value 4 or greater. Don't Make a Sound here for more counterspelling. If they pay the 2, we can surveil 2. Emerald's Messenger, it actually is a fairy, so this is actually kind of cool for us. So it has Void, it has flying. When it enter and actually, sorry. When you draw the second card each turn, create a 0/1 spawn, Eldrazi spawn. So this can be good for pseudo ramping. We have Fae Flight here, mostly for protection purposes, and again, it's also for flavor reasons. Have it in, add it to a creature, give it Hexproof till end of turn, give the enchanted creature +1/+0 and flying. Fairy Duelist here, flash and flying, and then softens up a creature by giving it -2/-0. Fairy Vandal here, anytime we draw our second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. We have Ill-Mega Pixie here, so 2 mana, 2/1 fairy flying. When a creature attacks, surveil 1. Lofty Denial here. We have a lot of flyers in the deck, so this will be a great counterspell for us, making our opponent pay 4. Mana Leak, also another counterspell, unless our opponent pays 3. Mischievous Mystic here. While not a fairy, it can produce for us fairies as we keep drawing more cards. So anytime we draw our second card each turn, create a fairy creature token. We have Negate, another non-creature counterspell. Night Veil Sprite here. Also, when this creature attacks, surveil 1. Also, when this creature attacks, surveil 1. Picklock Prankster here. For instant speed, you can mill 4 cards and then put back an instant sorcery or fairy card from among them into our hand, so great for us. And it's also a Flying Vigilance fairy. We have countering a spell, we can bounce that card back to their hand, and then we can draw a card. So again, for more tempo plays. spell stutter here. Also, another one of our solid counter spells here because we are a fairy deck. Counter spell unless they pay 2, but they have to pay an additional 1 for each fairy we control. We have Wild Rose Rebellion here. For this one, counter just a spell straight out. It's a counter spell. Hypnotic Sprite here. Counters target spell with a mana value of 3 or less, and it's also a flying fairy of 2/1. Barrow Naughty here. This creature will have lifelink until end of turn if we control another fairy, or just pump it up for 3 mana to give it a +1/+0 pump. We'll also utilize here Cast Down. Hold on, wait. Are we having issues again? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, sorry everybody. Wait. Are we having issues again? Give me 1 second here, everybody. It looks like we're having Is it pooping out on us? I can't tell right now. It looks like the stream is still kind of going, but okay. I do apologize, everybody. Let me see if this can. Let me double check a couple of things. So, okay. Hold on. Wait. Come on. Is it still running? Let me know in the comments, everybody, if we're still on right now. Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, are we still... Hold on. Let me check something real quick, everybody. I do apologize. All right, hold on. Okay. I think we're back. I think we are. Okay. Hold on. Wait, hold on, everybody. So are we still live right now, everybody? It looks like I think I am. Okay. All right, sorry. We'll jump back into it right now. Hello. Testing the stream right now. Okay. It looks like I think we are. All right, and oh, hello there, my fire friend. Was it ProHal Original? I think you said hi right now. Hello, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I do apologize. It looks like we're having some small little technical issues with the stream. I don't know why it's pooping out the way it does, so I do apologize on that one. Let me see if I might have to fix a couple things here. I can't tell if we're still running. Let me see if we are. Because it looks like I'm having issues across different places. So I can't tell if we're actually live or not. It looks like we are. Okay. Huh. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We'll get this fixed. Don't worry. Give me a second, everybody. Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna see if I could try to fix this a little bit. Okay. Okay. Are we there? Yay? Okay. Whew, okay. I think I can't tell across my platforms right now if I'm having issues. But if anybody out there is watching me, let me know in the comments like if we're still running fine or we're just having small issues. But I think we should be okay. I think we're... Hold on. Let's see. Hello? Hello? I think we should be okay now. Okay, so... Just checking on the different platforms. And I think we're doing okay right now. Okay. Okay, so I think we're fine now. So with that, let's go ahead. Let's going to continue on right now. And there we go. Okay. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, sorry. Completely thrown off here because I started realizing the stream was kind of pooping out once again. Again, apologize. Okay, getting back into it. There. Okay. So where were we at? Okay, so we were talking about the rest of the deck here. So we're going to go over now. We have Cast Down here for, again, more spot removal. We have Go for the Throat for more spot removal. We'll try to speed this up a little bit here. We have Heartless Act here, again, spot removal. Infernal Grasp, more spot removal. Una's Blackguard here. We are technically more a fairy deck. We're not really a rogue deck, but this can still help us out if we get some counters on some stuff here, and we can make our opponent discard cards. A couple of cards in our deck can do that to a degree. We have Sneaky Snacker here. If we draw our third card in a turn, we can bring this back from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Not too often this triggers off, but this can still help us out just a little bit here. Arcane Signet, because again, we are going to be a multicolored deck, so we're going to throw it in for ramp purposes. We'll throw in Fey Bloom Trick here, and instant speed, create 2 fairies, and then we can tap down some creatures to make our opponent, again, deal with some stuff. Mocking Sprite here, so we do utilize here a lot of instants and sorceries. This will make them much cheaper and easier to run. Salinity Visions here is either a tap land in a pinch, or it can again be just 6 cards deep to dig to get out an instant or sorcery. Tome Raider here, simply when it enters, just draw a card. Drix Interception, it's both a counterspell, and we can use it to again tap down some stuff. Sink in the Stupor here, another great tempo play for us to bounce back a spell or non-land permanent, or it can be again a land. Venomous Changeling here, technically it is going to be an honorary fairy because it's a changeling, and it also comes in with Death Touch. Halo Forger here, when this creature enters, pay X amount, and then we could bring back an instant or sorcery with a mana value of X or from our graveyard without paying its mana cost. So kind of like a very slow Snapcaster Mage. We have Patchwork Banner here. We will choose a Course Fairy, so they have all of our fairies, a +1/+1 pump, and also it's a mana rock. Dream Spoiler in the 4-drop slot here. Every time we cast a spell during an opponent's turn, we get given an opponent's creature -1/-1 until end of turn. Graveshifter here, being in one of our honorary fairies, brings back another creature card from our graveyard to our hand. We have Invasion of Eldraine here. When it enters, then this battle will make our opponent discard 2 cards. If we flip it into a fairy, if we need to, if a player has 2 or fewer cards in hand, we could deal 2 damage to them, poking them down. Spell Scorn Cover in here. 4 mana, 2/3. When this creature enters, make an opponent discard a card, and then use the instant slide to bounce back a spell to its owner's hand. Veil the Profane here. Use this again as spot removal, or again, it could be a land. Waterlog Teachings here, a tap land at a pinch, or you can use it to dig out an instant or sorcery card, or a card with flash. And then finally, on the 5-drop slot here, 3/4 flyer here for 5 mana, Obira's Attendance, and also for the adventure side, and a creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. Phew, okay. And then finally for the lands here, we have 15 islands, 7 swamps, a Bajuga Bog, Choked Estuary, Dismal Backwater, Sinister Hideout, Scoured Springs, and then we'll use Command Tower as a staple, of course, Demolition Field for non-basic land hate, Maestro's Theater for one of our fetches here, along with Obscura Storefront, and Volatile Fall to also destroy non-basic lands, giving us a treasure. And that is the whole deck, everybody. So again, this was originally going to be one of our basically decks, but I don't know if I want to do this now as a basically deck. I tried to provide as much variety as possible, but we'll talk about that more a little bit later on. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's now submit the deck, and we're going to have some fun with this, and let's see how well we can do in this event. Let's get this going. All right, game face on.
It's time to
Yeah, all right. Okay, so I think the stream should be stable now. But if it does poop out, everybody, please let me know. I just want to see if we have to make adjustments. Okay, we're set to go. All right. Okay, so we've got here we have a tap land, we have an island, so we should be good there. Okay, so we'll keep this hand. Okay, we're playing against Finn the Fangbearer, so expecting a lot of annoying poison, but we'll see if we can get around that. Play our Waterlog Teachings as Inundated Archive, so we have a tap land. Okay, here comes Finn. I have to start removing stuff quick here in order to do our thing. Alright, and then we will wait it out for a bit. It's going to get a little tricky for now until we can slow them down, but they're going to move fast if they're playing Finn. We actually did already a while ago a Finn deck on a budget, so if you are interested in, say, playing this, and you do like it, let me know. Okay, so Fairy Fencing for 1. All we can do is do it on Fang and Shigeki. Opponents, do you have an answer? They do not. Okay, good. So that means we go to 4 poison counters. But we got to slow them down as much as possible. Aham, Renegade. I'll have Death Touch, so it's going to be a little tricky getting through all this. But we will try. Mischievous Mystic. Okay. We're not hitting our land drops, so this is going to get actually kind of tough here. Technically, this is lethal. But we could flash in Obira. Kind of like as our last resort here. Wow, we're actually going to get rolled here quick. Opponents? Oh, God. Alright. Well, alright. Well, we're dead. That is going to be... Wow. They beat us on 3 turns there. Dang. Well, first loss of the day. Annoying. But, I mean, it's going to happen. I realize in this format, people are going to be playing Finn. Finn is actually one of the best commanders out there you can play on a budget. So, that's okay. We'll shake it off and we'll just try again. No big deal. No big deal. So, let's give this another shot. Alright. Let's try this again. And... let's see. Okay. So with that, we'll play our Scoured Springs. Okay. Opponents. Swamp. We got the Wash Away, so that's good. We can play the Ether Spell Bomb, and also we have everything we need here, so we should be fine. Okay, we will annul that. So, denied. Opponent. Okay, Spellcaster Sprites. We'll pass. Okay, opponents. An island. Intimidation campaign, okay. We will get life gain and drained. Obira. Okay, so we got Obira in thankfully now. So with that, let us play... We'll play the Curious Obsession. Pump it up. Doing a little bit of extra damage here. Down to 22. Draw a card. Okay, and then we'll wait it out. If they bring in Quasar now, and they will, Wash Away. Denied opponents. Too bad. And there you go, everybody. Our first win of the day right there. Nice and easy for us. Put her back to the command zone. Okay, down to 24. But hopefully have fun with that. Okay. Well, okay. Let's bring in this other fairy here. We'll draw a card off of that. We will attack. Down to 25. Okay, so opponent is playing a lot of cheap angels and Terralossa here, so expect a lot of life gain coming up soon. We'll see if we can find a way around it, though. Terralossa. Just keep on them. I'm gonna try. I will just keep trying. Or at least I think I'm reaching out to the right email address. It's been the same one as before, at least from what I remember. Get down to 22. Okay, Plains. We have a Dispel. Okay. Okay, so the other thing we can do is we'll swing here with these two. We do have an Infernal Grasp, so that is nice. We do have ways of getting around their stuff. So we can slow them down if we need to. Okay. Opponents? That's -3. With Fairy Fencing, I could scale that up if I need to. But I think we're going to wait until another, hopefully non-creature land. Okay, Forest. Opponents? So we got Hallowed Priest, okay. We'll let that resolve. Okay, so that's where the counters are coming in. So with that, Fairy Fencing. Pay 0. Terralossa is gone. I realize I should put away, take out Dazzling Angel. That should be the one I should probably start getting out of the way. Okay, so with that, opponent, what else you got? Goreclaw. I think Goreclaw now is technically uncommon. That's wild. Miracle's Messenger. Okay. Let's see. Swing here. Down to 27. Okay. All right. Still not in a good spot right here. Our opponent definitely has a lot of beefy stuff that will keep coming out. So we're going to have trouble trying to get through this. We will try. Despite having the removal, our opponent can keep casting Terralosa here. All right. At this point, I think we're just going to have to take out Dazzling Angel. Opponents? Have an answer? Maybe? Opponents? Yeah, Revitalize. Okay. Well, we're going to negate that. Phew! Okay. So no life gain off of that. We do lose 2 life, though. Creature does resolve. Big swing here from our opponents. Ooh. Yikes. Okay. Heartless Act. Put an Emerald's Messenger. And I mean, we can only attack with Changeling Outcast because we can't do anything else. Okay. Well, we might not win this one, but that's okay. Not a big deal. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Opponent, what else you got? Leon and Vanguard. Okay, that's cute. Anything else, opponent? Okay, Halia. Okay. Goreclaw. Goes bye-bye. They will put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. They gain the life. Okay. Well, it looks like we're not going to win this one. But that's okay. We still got plenty of time in this event. The block here. Oh, yeah, they have Trample. I forgot. Down to 2. They will keep getting bigger. But there's not much else we can really do here. All right, we will concede this one. Okay, well, definitely people have brought out their good stuff for today, but that's okay. No worries here. We're not giving up. All right, so with that, just jump right back into it. Okay, so question for some of you out there that watch. As you can tell, I do multi-streams on YouTube recently, but the question I want to ask with that is that helpful? For those of you that are watching portrait style, do you like that, or would you rather I just kind of keep everything to just one simple, landscape style? I don't know why I was trying to remember that, but I couldn't remember it. The words got mixed up there. Okay, but yeah, let me know. I'm trying to multi-stream to as much so I can put out a bigger reach, but if it hurts the streams, I mean, I suppose I don't have to do that. Okay, we're playing against another Finn the Fangbearer. All right, I guess it just comes with the territory. That's fine. So with that, Arcane Signet. Okay, opponents, show me what you got. Okay, here comes Finn. Not a surprise. So here comes the poison counters. Okay, so, all right, with that, Patchwork Banner, and we'll put it on, of course, Fairy. So, we will have big fairies now, but we actually now need to speed up this clock quick. I don't know if we will be able to speed it up fast enough, but we'll try. We will try. Opponent's going to swing. Yep. Just one. Okay, down to 23. Poison counters keep coming. All right, so Island. And, okay, so we can do this at instant speed. So that actually will help us out a bit here. I just like landscape because I watch on my TV. Okay. Because I've been trying to experiment since, was it for the past month and some of seeing like, okay, is it worth it to multi-stream on YouTube to do portrait and landscape mode? I don't know if that's worth it because, again, my computer does get a little strained, but I try. Faebloom Trick. We'll create some fairies. And then we'll tap down Finn. Okay, opponent. Still swinging. Block here with 2. Do you have anything else, opponents? Do you have any pump? Nope. Okay. Phew. Still just trying to hang in there as best we can. Venom Connoisseur. All right, they are completely tapped out, which means Obira can come in. Ooh, nice. We have Go for the Throat. Okay, so that does help us out a bit there. Tomb Raider. Drain our opponent for 1. We'll draw a card. That's cute. Okay. Oh, Emerald's Messenger would have been nice a turn ago, but that's okay. Okay. Either way, still swing here. Down to 20. Okay. Doing the best we can to fight against Finn here because Finn is powerful. Annoying. I should know because I have played Finn many times. And all we're just trying to do here is just slowly but surely just soften him up. Okay. Finn here gets hit. Nice. Phew. Okay, so if they swing here, now it won't matter. We'll take the damage, no big deal. We don't get any more poison counters, so that's okay. All right, opponent, what else you got? 1 mana open. They kept a low curve here. Okay, they got Audacity. So they're going to try to force through damage no matter what. Mocking Sprite. Okay, drain our opponent for 1 there. Okay, and then... swing here for 2. Down to 13. Picklock Prankster. Ooh, okay. Alright, nice. Got the cut down. Picklock Prankster. Taking our opponent for 12. Okay. I think we got control of this one here. And our opponent has had enough. Alright. We get the win against them there.
It's time to...
Yeah. Alright, okay. Alright. Alright. Got our second legit win there. But I think today, I don't think I'll do a non-budget version of the deck. I don't know. If you guys want to see a non-budget version of this deck, let me know. But I kind of want to see how well it does in regular Brawl. All right, we got our 20 gems. That's nice. All right, let's see if we can wrap this up here quick and get our third and final one for the Midweek Magic event. But I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably just do my usual where I'm going to try to play what we can in regular Brawl. And maybe this time around, we'll actually build it together. We'll look at it again, a little bit of deck building, and then we'll see what we can do to really pump this up if we like the idea of a fairy tempo deck. Hopefully this should also be something we can look back to once we get to Lorwyn in January. Because I know we'll definitely get a lot of sweet fairies from that set. So I'm looking forward to kind of reevaluating this deck once we get to that part in just a couple months. Until then, however, we will just maintain what we got. Yep. All right. We can do everything here. That's cool. But yeah. So now with pretty much almost all of Avatar revealed, how are we feeling overall about the set? Honestly, this feels a lot better than what we got for Spider-Man, but it's pretty obvious what happened there. I mean, it's already public knowledge that Spider-Man was not meant to be a full set, and it really shows because that set ended up being Duty, whereas Avatar was meant to be a full set, and you could definitely tell the big difference there being that it really does feel like there was a lot of care and love put into the set. So I do look forward to it, not only again as a person that enjoys the series, but as a person who also wants to make sure that we actually get good stuff. Okay, so we're playing against a Moti here, so we definitely are going to want that mana leak quick. So that's 1, 2, 3. Maybe put in a 4th. Okay, so we have 1 turn to start doing stuff here. Got Obira here, so we should be able to flash it in. If there's anything, however, we need to get rid of, we can do it now with mana leak. All right. Beanstalk Giant, okay. We'll let that go. All we just need to do is get a Moti countered. Can Druid, all right. With that, Vero coming in. What I love about this is even on a budget, having the ability to flash in your commander is so good. Play the Swamp. And then... all right, well, I guess we're going to have to keep this as is. Down to 21. All right, Mana Leak is ready for you. All right, I'm sorry, opponent. Too bad. You will get to Cascade once, but at least we can get rid of their commander. So it buys us time. Even our opponent does get 1 option off. But having said that, this will be something that also I'm going to look to for our future budget deck when we get there at some point. We will get there. Alright, so with that, swing it here. Okay. Opponents, what else do you got? So that's 5 mana open still. Still going to be a little while before they can drop these now as 7 drops. They probably could bring in their 6th land. Actually, I realize that maybe they probably can do it here. Do they? Opponent? What you got? Lou? Scaled Nurture. Okay. Okay, so with that, opponents swinging with their big creature. Let's soften them up just a little bit here. Just a little bit. Ping them for 1. Alright. Down 17. Unfortunately, we still can't block that completely, but at least we can just slow them down. That's all we're trying to do now. Let's see, Dream Spoiler. So that can come in next. Okay, Dream Spoiler. Opponent. Got an answer? Ooh, maybe they might. Wow, they got the Mirror Shell Crab. Okay. Well, we got countered there, but while that is annoying, it's not the worst. So, at this point now it's just a race. Eye Collector. Most of this is going to be there for chump blocking purposes. Ping him for down to 12. Alright. Alright, we're getting there. Opponent still has a bit of ways to go. They will do their shenanigans here with the Cascade. Simic Charm. Okay. Do they bounce back Obira? What do they bounce back? It has to be Obira. It has to be. Put it back to our hand. I guess we get the caster for cheap. Okay, so chump block here for 1. Not a huge deal. We're just trying to slow them down again, as I mentioned. Bring it in. And let's see. We'll wait it out for a moment here. Got a 10. Okay, so plan right now is, again, just to keep them off balance as much as we can. The next spell we can use to just bounce away. Although the Cascade mechanic is going to make this kind of hard. But we'll see. We'll see if we can pull it off here. Okay. What else you got, opponents? 4 cards in hand. Plenty of mana, which they're floating now. Is this going to be enough? Wretched Gift. Or Griff, I should say. They draw a card off of that. They draw a card off of that. They Cascade. Okay. Vastwood Surge. Okay. They get some lands. But we can bounce this back to their hand. So at least this way we can kind of slow them down. Maybe? Or are we going to counterspell again? Oh, Colossal Sky Turtle. Okay. Wow. All right. Our opponent is also got their own tempo shenanigans. Okay. Down to 16. Still at 10, so it's not horrible, but we're also still not quite where we want to be. We will name Fairy, of course. So our Fairies get a little bit of an extra pump here. And let's see. Not much else we're going to be able to get off of this. I guess we'll just bring it now. Not much value there, unfortunately. But okay. Opponents. Wretched Griff coming in. I mean, at this point now we're going to have to start chump blocking, so not in a good spot, but it's okay. What else? Let's see. Okay. Opponent is floating every single little bit of thing they can. All right. Wretched Griff coming in. They're going to get all the card draw because that's what Simic does the best. But this does give me an idea, of course, of what we're going to build for also our future ultra budget decks once we continue that series. We do have, again, another deck that I'm looking forward to doing, although I think this one might be a bit of a spicier one coming up once we get to next week. Recording for that one's already begun for that. I'll explain again what that deck is once we get through the halfway point. Or actually, might be at the end of the stream. All right, opponent is just out-tempoing us at this point. Wow, they actually have a lot of tempo plays here. Pretty good deck, I will say that. All right, so Moti is going to have to go bye-bye here. Okay. Down to 12. That goes back to the command zone. Although they have all the mana in the world, so I don't know if it's going to really matter anymore. They cycle away a land. Volatile Faults. All right. Obira coming in. Not really anything we can really get from there, can we? Dang. Okay, well. Spellscorn Covenant. Paying our opponent for 1. Make them discard a card. Okay, well, I mean, it's not horrible. Let us... I don't feel good about any of this right now. Oh, boy. Well, okay, we'll not concede just yet. Give it at least another turn. I mean, we're at 12, so it's not like we're dead. But they are going to do a big swing here in just a few moments. Okay, so with that, what else you got, opponents? What else do we got? Opponents. All right, Kiora coming in. Oh, it's the... Well, that's kind of cute. I like the alternate art there. What is it? She's an axolotl? That's kind of cute. Okay, Blue Dragon. Still drawing cards. Not gonna lie, our opponent does have a pretty nifty Simic deck here that I'm probably going to steal for a future video. I'll make notes on this for the future. Speaking of videos, another question I do have for everybody out there is, we did about a week and some ago a live stream that was that wasn't. Where's it? Hold on. Okay. Okay, the trample will kill us here. Okay, so I guess we'll just wrap it up here. So we did start doing some exclusive stuff for members only. If you guys want to see in the future, or maybe if you want to see me continue, say, for example, a game like Dead Space or any of the other non-Magic games out there for exclusive members out there, let me know in the comments, what would you like to see? If you're interested, I'll be more than happy to do that. Okay. Spellscorn will survive. We're down to 6. But I think at this point we're pretty much dead. Alright, a land does not help us out here at all. We can play the Halo Forger. And while we can ping our opponent here... Let's see. Hold on. Is there anything in the yard we can actually bring back? Yeah, the counterspell to hitter does not work. All right, we'll just take our L. It's okay. Well, at least we're not blowing through this as fast as I thought, so at least we can still have a little bit more time playing this. Okay, not a big deal. Shaking it off, and we're going to try again. Jumping back into this. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, we're going to try this out again. Okay. All right. let's see what we got here. Okay, so I think we can keep this. Should be fine. Should be fine. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. What do we want? Island. Preordain. Put the Ether Spell Bomb on top. That might actually be helpful for us, just to kind of slow down our opponent. You're playing with Cardor's Doom Scourge. Okay. Until your next turn, creature's opponent control to attack each combat turn and attack a player other than you, if able. Okay. When the attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Huh. Interesting. So some kind of super aggro demon. Interesting. I have no idea how this one's going to work, but we're going to try. So we'll pass here. Okay, opponent. What else you got? Okay. Show me what you got, opponents. Okay. Anything? Opponents. There we go. Phyrexian Rager. Okay. They draw a card and they will lose a life. And with that, flash in Obira. Okay, so now we've got what we need there. We just need to start setting up everything else. Patchwork Banner on Fairy. We'll keep the 1 mana open, so in case of anything happens, we can still bring back Obira. Alright, so with that, opponent has got what they need. Okay, opponents. Still thinking. They got a lot of cards, but we do too. What are they going to play? Fallen opponent is also doing that. Question for everybody right now. What do you think of all the bending mechanics we're going to get from Avatar? Which one is the one you're going to enjoy the most? Fire bending, if you're a combat player? Are you looking for bouncing things around with air bending? Are you more of a fan of Convoke, i.e. water bending? Or maybe you want to utilize your lands as creatures with earth bending? That actually all looks like a lot of fun, so I'm hoping that this will be, again, a thing that I'm really looking forward to playing with soon. Okay, let's see. So we got Obira here, 3/3, swing. We have Night Veil Sprite too, so I think we'll bring in Night Veil Sprites. It's a little cute little pump there. We will keep everything else open. Push our opponent to 17. So, game plan right now is we got to go for the throat to take out one of their creatures. We have a Dispel if they have a count, if they have any instance. Or we can Malachor Rebirth to keep ourselves alive for a bit. Ooh, opponent. Okay, Firebrand Archer. Okay. There it is, the Infernal Grasp. They ping us, but we can dispel that, so that's good. Phew! Okay. Anything else, opponents? Okay, so in that case, then we will go for the throat now. Nice. Swing? Maybe? No swing? They do swing, okay. Well, oh, nope, maybe. Okay. Maybe we were a little preemptive on the go for the throat. Okay, Annihilating Glare. Okay, so that's what they did. Yeah, maybe we're a little too preemptive on that one, because I realize now, if I timed it better, I probably could have gotten rid of stuff, which would have put them in a bad spot with Firebrand Archer. It's okay, though. Not a huge deal. Let's Surveil. Fey Bloom Trick. Okay, we'll keep that on top. Get our opponent to 15. Put this down as a tap land. And we will pass. Okay, so do they play their creature yet? Phyrexian Gargantua. So another creature, well, they can draw some cards. They will lose life, though, so that helps us get closer to victory. Swing opponent? They do. We'll let that go. We're at 19. Flash back in Obira. Okay, so we should be in a good spot now. Sneaky Snacker. Ping our opponent for 1. We will Surveil again. Ooh, Halo Forger is good here, too. Keep that on top. Mono Musa, salutations. Hello, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so right now we're just in the middle of doing the Midweek Magic event. Hopefully we'll be able to wrap this up, and I want to try this deck out in actual real Commander, at least for today. Okay, so our opponent's going to try to soften us up here just a smidge. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Card orders coming in. So they're now fully tapped out. So this does help us out a smidge here. We will Fey Bloom Trick. There we go. Drain our opponent for a bit here. Ping him down. All right. Tap down their one key creature. Do they swing? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How have you and how's the games been? Well, so far, we're doing okay. We've had a little bit of a technical struggle earlier when we tried to fire off the stream. So probably I feel like the first 15 minutes or so was me just rambling about, do you hear me now? Do you see me now? I hate having technical issues. But once we finally got that through, I think now we should be okay here. So let's see. We will... What do I want to block here with? I guess we'll block with a Sneaky Snacker. Not a huge deal. Okay. They will gain some life here. But we are good to go. We've got the victory here because we have everything we have in hand. All right. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Take action here. Pay the 2. Oh, this is good. Okay, Infernal Grasp. And you know what? I'm going to take out their commander because I can. Oh, there we go. Okay. And with that, that is going to be our victory here, everybody. We will surveil because it doesn't really matter anymore. And there we go. All right, fairies, everybody. Getting it done. Yeah. All right. Okay, much better. Okay. So that is our 3 major wins for this event here. But let's see. Let's actually take this deck, and I want to give it a shot in real Brawl matches out of this. So we're facing against non-budget. Can our deck survive just a little bit out in the wild? Let's find out now. So we'll make our claims. All right, we got everything. Ooh, that's a cool all art. I like that one, Kellen. Even if we don't play Kellen, it's still pretty cool. But okay, so far we managed to get our 3 wins for the Midweek Magic event. If you did like today's deck, do not worry, everybody. Once the stream is over, as always, we will leave behind a link for the full deck tech itself. So as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't here for the early part or whatever, don't fret. Links, of course, will be there so you can just easily copy and paste this while the event is going on. Or maybe if you are a fan of just budget stuff in general, you can add that at your heart's, at your own leisure. Now, let's go ahead. Let's take this into... Hold on. Wait, what am I doing here? Hold on. Let's go ahead. Let's take this into actual real Brawl. I actually want to see how our tempo deck can do. Just maybe for a little bit. If we can, I'll see if we try to squeeze in a little bit of time very briefly once we're done here to maybe we can upgrade the deck with a couple of key pieces. Maybe upgrade the mana base, give us some much more stronger fairies, and I think we can really, really go all out with the deck. But okay, feeling pretty good about this one right now. Let's see if with a real person that doesn't care about budget, let's see how we do. All right, game face on.
It's time to
yeah. All right, okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we got our Curious Tempo, got the Ponder, Fairy Vandal. Okay, drawing cards with Curious Position, that actually can be pretty good here. We'll keep this hand. This looks solid. So maybe we'll try to do like a couple matches with a regular one, and then we'll see if we can upgrade it a bit to make it much more stronger. But okay, yeah. We're doing good. I'm feeling pretty good now. I'll have to look up, of course, how to minimize having technical issues on the stream. Because also, I feel kind of bad for those of you out there that, you know, sometimes you see the bugs and stuff that happen on the stream where, you know, the quality goes bad. And I'm hoping that I can try to fix that in the future for all of y'all. Let's ponder. Okay, so we got a lot of lands. Actually, do we want to... We'll shuffle this, actually, and we'll draw a card. Okay. Got another land, that's fine. Well, we definitely will have no shortage of casting stuff now. Okay. Opponent. Island. They're playing with Bria, so Otter deck? That's kind of cute. Okay, so we got down both of our lands. Fairy Vandal can come in. Obira can also come in. So I guess it really depends now on our situation, what our opponent throws at us. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay, opponents. Pearls of Wisdom. Well, actually, just Pearl of Wisdom. So they will just draw some cards. All right, well, this is the turn. We came here for fairies, everybody, so we're bringing in our fairies now. We'll play our command tower. Bring in Fairy Vandal. Get the ping. Curious Obsession. So we are getting a little greedy here, but I want to start getting this game plan to go off. Down to 21 opponents. We'll draw a card, which pumps up the Fairy Vandal. Nice. Okay, so feeling good here. We got everything we need. This is going to be enough. Is our opponent going to bring in Bria? They sacrifice Fable Passage. Opponent's digging out their basic. Okay. Does Bria come in, or is it going to be something else that we have to deal with? Okay. Opponents. Opponent, what else you got? Okay, while our opponent is thinking of their next major strategy move right here, what are y'all playing right now? What decks are you building, or are you waiting for avatar cards? Oh, rapid hybridization? Okay. Okay, well, annoying. It's not the worst. We still have ways of getting around things. They left behind for us a frog lizard. I guess we could use that to our advantage. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Okay. They're thinking. They're thinking pretty hard here. Storm Chaser Mage. Ah, Flying Haste and Prowess. Forgot that card exists. Okay. We'll play a Swamp. And let's see here. Play Tome Raider. We'll draw a card off of that, but also pumps up Fairy Vandal, which is nice. Swing here. Do you block opponents? They do not, so we can do heavy damage there. We'll play the Eye Collector. That's mostly going to be there, I guess, for, chump blocking. Because Eye Collector will mill cards, but I don't know if we want to mill anything just yet. Ironically, if I know if I'm going to do it, it's probably going to end up milling away nothing but key spells, and instead, we'll just start drawing a bunch of lands. If I know my luck. Opponents, I'm looking at Fairy Vandal. Okay, we also still have some tempo play with Spellscorn Coven, but that'll come in a little bit later. Okay. What else we got, opponents? I know you're looking. Eject. Okay. Fairy Vandal goes bye-bye. For now, but that's okay. Do you swing? They do. Okay. Or not. Okay, well, Ether Spellbomb's not bad either, so I think we can put that in. Spellbomb. Play the island. Play Cast Down now while we can. That doesn't work anyway against Bria regardless, so I guess it's better off doing it that way. Down to 10. Okay. We milled land, so I think that was good. And we milled away their... What is it? What does that say? Crustacean Mage? Did I say that correctly? Crustacean Mage? Words are hard, by the way. Okay. Opponent, you are at 10 life. You have currently 5 cards in hand, but you have a lot of mana open. No commander has been cast just yet. Alright, so Sprite Dragon coming in. Technically, that is a fairy too, but we don't have a Grixis fairy to make that work. Maybe in the future we can. Brainstorm. But this actually also is an advantage, because with Ether Spellbomb here, we can easily just bounce it back no matter how much our opponent pumps it up. If they don't do that, we can also just flash in Fairy Vandal either way, so we have options here. Okay. Alright, opponents. What else you got? Show me what you got. Harmonic Prodigy. Okay. Anything else? Because they do opt. That pumps up their Sprite Dragon just a smidge. Do you attack? No? Maybe? Anything? Okay, so with that, bounce back the Sprite Dragon. Okay, so that's off the field. That's good. Okay, so let's see here. We're just bringing in Obira now for full value there. Just getting our swings in. We're just doing damage at this point. We want to close this out quick. Make our opponent mill. Oh, that Infernal Grass would have been nice. It's okay. We still have ways of softening them up with Obira's Attendants anyway. So if they start with the Prowess or Sprite Dragon, we can still get around that. Okay. What else you got, opponents? Come on. Okay. Erebor, Flamesmith. So it's another pinger. I didn't realize how many pingers we actually have. Okay. Anything else? Nothing? Okay. Fairy Vandal come back in for some value. They ping our opponent down to 4. All right, opponent, do you have anything else? Anything else in hand? Because at this point now, I think we got this one. Mocking Sprite. Opponents? Did we win? Ooh, Counterspell. Oh, all right. Oh, actually. Oh, we got the best way to do this. Yes, go ahead. That's fine, opponent. You can ping. But we can counter your Counterspell with the bounce effect. Oh, that was so good. Okay. And then with that, soften up the Sprite Dragon. And there you go. Big swing here. All in the air. Sure, you can block the Frog Lizard, but it doesn't matter. Our victory is now ours. Go ahead, opponent. Block whatever you want. It doesn't matter. We got the win. Oh, that was the best feeling right there. When you can actually out-counter a counterspell with a tempo play. Oh, man. Oh, that felt so good. I love it. And there we go. Beautiful. Take that, opponent. We got you. Your Spellslinger deck had no effect on our Fairy Tempo. Yeah. All right. All right, that was a good one. Not too bad on a budget, am I right? I'm happy about that one. Okay, so that's our 4 wins, at least for the dailies. But let's keep the good times rolling. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I think we can actually kind of keep this one going for a little bit. But maybe near the very end and probably like, I don't know, after a couple matches, maybe we can upgrade this a little further and see how much more stronger we can really, really push the deck. Okay, so you know, oh, we didn't get our counterspell here, so we have lots of counterspells and tempo here. This actually looks pretty good. So for now, Maestro's Theater. We're playing against Ovar, so it's going to be a Spell Shaper deck. Let's get our Island. We have our Swamp, so that's good. Spell Stutter. All those for counterspells. Okay, so looking good here. We'll pass. Okay, opponents. Island. Do we do it now? Let's do it now. Opponents, this is your chance. Yep, there's the counterspell. Alright, well, while annoying, it's not horrible. We can always just keep doing our thing here. Embercold's Messenger. We always have plenty of ways of just messing with our opponent here, no matter what. Preordain, okay. So they will also scry and draw. Okay, opponents. Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay. Here come the Otters. Don't make a sound. Will be nice for later. No value off of the Bajuka Bog, unfortunately. But that's okay. We could still try to develop our board state here. All we just got to do is just start drawing cards. Out countering their counter spells. Right? That's easy. Okay, Island. Okay, Ovar coming in. So with that, we will... which one do we want to use? I think we'll use Don't Make a Sound. Denied.
How do you like that, opponents? Yeah, you're not the only one that can counterspell. All right, down to 25. So that's... I guess we'll bring it in now. Obira. Swing here. Down to 21. Okay. Mind Stone. Okay, opponent is trying to prowess now. Miscast. Oh. So that softens up with legitimate business person. Okay. I guess we'll let that go. Down to 22. So our fairy is a legitimate business person. Can't do anything with that, but that's also kind of hilarious the way they set it up there. But okay, let's see. Actually, we'll keep that for tempo reasons. We'll just start swinging here. Down to 18. Okay, so now it's going to be just a match up of just smacking each other around, and hopefully one of us will get there. Hopefully. Do they tick it up? I mean, they can't really get any value off of that, but that's fine. Okay, what's going to be, opponents? Ovar coming in again, so we're going to be counterspelling this. So with that, spell stutter. Don't think you're going to get too cheeky there, opponents. We go to 21. Go Ego Drain. That's actually not too bad right now. So this actually might be... All right, let's get a peeky peek. Okay, so... The Archaeomancer doesn't get a chance to do anything. Throw that away still. I'm still going to void on this. I don't want to get too greedy here. Down to 15. Opponent still has a ways away to get around us, and we still have counter spells to work with here. So that's actually not horrible. We throw away the Archaeomancer, but that is a creature. So that's okay. They draw a card. Opponents. They cycle away the Vizier. Okay, so they untap an island, still draw another card. Okay. Opponent's still swinging at us, but we have the advantage here in terms of damage. Inferno Grasp, that actually might be helpful for later on. Still swinging for 3. Not the best way to actually face this deck, because we're not really pulling off what we want, but, I mean, the tempo plays are keeping us alive, so I guess I can't complain about that too much. Okay, they still have a dive down also. So we're not going to force them into a spot where they have to use things. Okay, Curiosity. That's pretty good. Opponents. Okay, they let us have it. That's good. Memory Deluge. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to... I guess we'll miscast now. Opponent. Any other answers? Okay. Nice. Okay, just slowing them down as much as possible here. That's all we can do. Down to 9. We'll draw a card off of that. And that does make for us a token that we can use to actually sponge hits. Okay, so the Eldrazi spawn actually will be good for chump blocking. Obviously, in mono blue, they have to have something to either bounce it away or... Oh, there we go. We did it. We did it there. Another victory for us. Yeah. All right. Feel good about this one, hey, everybody. Fairy tempo. And it's honestly just going to get stronger for the next set in January. You know we're going to get a lot of good fairies for this. So feeling pretty good. Use this as a good template for something in the future, I hope. All right. Let's see if we can get maybe 1 or 2 more matches, but I'm now kind of feeling zesty here. I want to see if we can actually upgrade this deck a little bit more and make it even stronger. Let's see if we can actually dig out some strong fairies after this match. What do you say, everybody? Think that sounds good? I think we can do that. Okay, so with this, playing against an alchemy card, which is disgusting, but that's okay. We can outdo the alchemy card. I know we can. Choked Estuary. We will reveal our island. Although technically this is a rare, in Arena, it is an uncommon. Although realistically, in paper, these should be uncommons by this point. Let's be honest. They really should be. Hopefully they'll change that in the future. Let's see. I guess we'll play down the Eye Collector first. So we'll get down a fairy. Is opponent going to play Slimefoot now? Maybe? Yes? No? Okay, Spring Heart Nantucko. Okay, Ego Drain will be good too once we start doing our thing here. Okay, our opponent, we mill a card. They mill a card. Okay, so we managed to steal away their Cultivate. That's actually not too shabby. Okay, opponents. Here comes Slimefoot. Another Swamp before Switcher. Okay, so they get to start drafting off of that. So it's a landfall drafting? That totally does not sound fair. But okay. It is what it is. Opponent, do you swing? They do. Okay, Obiro coming in. We'll chump block here. Thank you, opponent. Nice. Okay, so Island. We will do this here. Let's actually Ego Drain real quick. I'm curious to see what do they have in hand. What do they have that we want to have to worry about here? Okay, Shieldred is scary. Bushwhack. Shieldred comes in next turn, but also Mythweaver Hawk. Both cards I hate, by the way. We'll throw away Shieldred. That seems like the biggest threat. And with that, let us put this on Obira. Down to 21. Kill a card. Kill a card. We'll draw a card. Okay. Ooh, wow, we milled away the Reanimate. Oh, that felt good. Phew. That might have been too close. Okay. They keep getting free value from their deck because that's totally fair. Okay, Mythweaver Hawk, but we do have removal for him, so that's not the worst for us. Okay. Okay. So let's just get him out of the way now. I don't want to deal with that. Okay. Swing here. Down to 18. Doing good. We mill away a land, but we will also draw a card. We got a swamp, so that works out anyway. Okay. So, let's see. We're hanging in there versus our opponent here, who's definitely playing and definitely taking advantage of alchemy shenanigans. But we've been able to mill away some of their key pieces here that hopefully should allow us to get this victory. Bushwhack. Okay. Fairy Duelist. I'm sorry, opponent. Yeah. Take that, opponent. You thought you were going to get tricky against us? Or our fairies had the upper hand with the tempo. Oh, that would have been such a sweet thing right there. Soften up their Slimefoot. They fight it, and then they end up killing themselves. Aw, opponent. I was hoping to get that play, but that's okay. Not too bad, everybody. Fairies. Don't underestimate them, even on a budget. All right, so we're going to take a small little moment to stop for a second here. Let's actually upgrade the deck. So you know what? Let's clone a copy here. And what if we take the time to upgrade it? I know usually when I do these, I already have a deck set to go and upgrade it. But let's actually kind of work together on this one just for a little bit here. So this time around, we'll actually mark here. Oh, wait, actually, put this for regular roll now. So that means now we can put up everything. All right. So, typing it in. Let's take time to look at this. Okay, so what fairies did we not grab? Okay, so, and then we also have to look at what we want to swap out for stuff here. So, Talion, technically you could use this as your actual commander for it if you want to, but I want to keep Obira for now. So we'll put Talion into the 99, but you totally can just make them your actual commander. So that's totally your call on that one. Likeness Looter, definitely going to throw that into. Classic here, Wrangle, Master of Pranks, definitely got to get him. Sleep Cursed Fae is an interesting one. While it is a powerful card, it's going to be valuable later on into the match, but we'll throw a sword in there. Fail Wishes is good for 60 card, but not in Commander, so we'll keep that as is. Fairy Mastermind, definitely a great tempo play there. Brazen Borrower, a classic here. We got to throw that in as well. Sprite Noble. Ooh, this is from Jumpstart. This is cool. Other creatures you control flying. Huh. That actually might be good. Okay. Talion's Messenger here. Definitely got to throw that in as well. Vendilion Click, another classic for us here. So we'll throw a Vendilion Click as well. High Fixed Trickster here. Ooh, you can cast spells if they have flash. Oh, that's perfect for us. No alchemy cards, so we're going to have to skip on that one there. Fairy Formation. A little expensive. You can make tokens with it, but I don't know if we want to do that. We want to still make sure we have tempo on our side. Okay. Fairy Slumber Party might be okay. Well, is that there? Let's see. Stolen by the Fae, another tempo play. We'll definitely have Bitter Blossom. I'm glad that's actually coming back soon, so we'll get new copies of this, but that definitely helps us out there. And I think that actually should be it for the fairies. So briefly here, we'll make those adjustments in just a second. Let's see. But in terms of other things we definitely want to do here, let's look at some of our counter spells we may have missed. So obviously, if you want to go super nuts here, you can go crazy. Cards that you can have, 3 steps ahead would be pretty solid for us. And in terms of other things we want, you can throw in Mana Drain. I mean, that's obvious if you want to go nuts with the budget. Prof's Edict Memory. Since we're going to be drawing cards here and there, that actually would help us out with pumping. So we could throw that in as well. Archmage's Charm can be a better option for other cards here. So we can throw that in as well. We won't go too crazy here, but there are definitely a lot of things you can use. Flare of Denial, if you want to also be someone that gets a little gnarly with your counter spells. So again, but do we want it? Do we want this? I mean, Flare of Denial, we'll just dump in there. And then we'll make our adjustments, of course, once we're done here. So we should be good there. Let's look at our removal package. So for him, Dark Ritual, obviously. Got to throw that in there. And then, let's see. Reanimates. This one, again, like, we're not a reanimator deck, but this could be helpful in some situations. But instead, let's look at more of our actual, let's see. Just trying to think here what would be better for us. Mostly just comes down to faster removal or other things that actually hurt our opponent more than us. Actually, I realized we could get a Wrath or two. That actually might be helping us out a bit more. So let's go ahead. Let's do that instead. Trying to think what's it called again? There's one here that. Hold on. I cannot spell right now. There it is. That's the one. Let's see. You can either use this one or. I'm trying to think right now. Let's see. Oh, wait. No, it's a 4-mana counter. Wrath. Hold on. I know where it is. Okay. So the one we're looking for is going to be, I mean, you can put in Damnation if you want to, but Crippling Fear actually would give us a little bit more of an edge because you can name everything else. And obviously, we're going to stay Fairy, and we can just blow away our opponent's stuff there. So that's good there. Toxic Deluge can be an option if you actually want that one, but also that would hurt you a little bit more. So those are options for you if you're looking at other types of things here. Come Back Wrong also wouldn't be too shabby, although it is sorcery speed. So it's one of those cards that you need to think about. Let's see. I think the other simplest way of upgrading the deck is the easiest one, which is, of course, the mana base. So let's go with the lands. And then we'll make that adjustment here. Okay. So for the land base here, and what we're trying to get, let's see. It's mostly just going to be all the good stuff here. So obviously the Pathway. We'll throw in, of course, Gloom Lake. Dark Slick Shores, of course. Shipwreck Marsh, Watergrave, Underground River. I guess even Underground Sewer can be helpful here. Hold on one second, everybody. Hold on. I see something pop up that needs to be addressed real quick here. So, hold on. Okay, I see. Got a little bit of spam here, so we can handle that. Just give me a second here to deal with that real quick, everybody. Okay, say no to spam, everybody. Say no to spam. Okay, so we want to speed this up. Ancient Tomb also can help us out here, too. And let's see. Cavern of Souls, make ourselves uncounterable with our fairies. That's good. Now, you'll notice that earlier on, I did not put in any of the actual like creature stuff because we were mostly a tempo deck. So I wanted to make sure we actually had the appropriate things for that instead. But if you want to put in the creature stuff, you can. I personally would say maybe hold off on that just a little bit. Otherwise here, let's see what else we need. Maybe Fountain Port, actually, because we do make a lot of tokens. Mana Confluence. We can throw in... I guess we could throw in a fetch land. So Polluted Delta, of course, can come in. That's cool. And then Scavenger Ground if you want stronger, faster graveyard shenanigans. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options you can use here if you want to. Urborg to make everything swamp so we can still cast everything what we need. And then... Actually, that wouldn't be too bad here. I think that should be okay. So with that, let's now make our adjustments here because we have now an incredibly bloated deck. So this will be our modifications for the deck itself. So let's go ahead and flip this. Okay. Don't worry, everybody. We'll be done soon, okay? We're just going to try to make our quick little adjustments here. Okay, so with that, we will keep that. We'll get all of the tap duels out here now. Rings. Gavender Souls, keep that. Keep the command tower. Keep the demolition field. Fountain Port. I suppose you could keep in the Maestro Cedars and whatnot, so these aren't bad, but you definitely want to have faster fetches. We do have stuff like Prismatic Vista and stuff, so that should be okay. That puts us at 42 lands. We'll make the adjustments in a smidge. But otherwise, let's see. Okay, so from the actual full deck itself, cut the Obira's Attendants. Keep. We'll keep. Graveshooter, we'll keep that as well. Cut the Invasion. Spellsworn Coven. Keep that. Crippling Fear. Keep. 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 Okay, so we're good on the 4 drops. 3 drops here. Patchwork Banner, keep. Halo Forgers, okay. Venomous Changeling, we can cut that now. Let's see, Archmage's Charm, keep. Vendilion Click, keep. Sprite Noble, Singed Super, keep. Flare. Drix Inception. This one actually could be a choice here, but I think we'll cut that one. Tome Raiders gonna be kept. Italian Messenger, Salinity Visions, Mocking Sprite. Okay, those are fine. Let's see. Baying Veil, we can cut that one. Disdainful Stroke. Actually, don't make a sound, we'll get cut. Let's see. Fey Flight, kept. Fairy Duelist. Yes. Fairy Mastermind, yes. Fairy Vandal. Let's see. Lofty Denial. Pixie. Mischievous Mystic. Keep that for card draw. Negates. Sprite Veil. Picklock. Proft. Remand. Spell Stutter. Might be a little bit harder to actually cut some of these things, but we'll try as much as we can to cut the things that are not super essential. We might actually cut Barrow Naughty here. Let's see. Cast now. We'll keep most of our spot removals, so this shouldn't be too bad here. So with that, Una's Black card, we probably could cut that one too. Okay, 20 more cards. Wow. This is actually going to take a while. Okay, so don't worry. We're going to get through it as much as we can, everybody. And Sneaky Snacker kept. Likeness Looter will keep here. So for the final, let's see, for the 1-drops here, keep Fairy Fencing. Nightshade Stinger. It's cheap, so we'll keep it. Malakar. Fatal Push. Dream Thief. Yes. Eye Collector. I don't know if this one helped us out too much here, so we'll probably cut that one. Ego Drain will keep. Actually, yeah, we'll keep that one. Dark Ritual, cut down. Changeling, the Wash Away. So Tiny. Probably will cut that one. Scenario Master Sprite. Slip out the back. Sleep Curse Fae. Keep the Preordained. The Optimist Cast. Fairy Cedar. Dispel. Okay, so we got to cut down 18 more cards here. So let's see. Okay, so before we continue on, let's actually look at, okay, so what technically is considered a land here? So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm only counting that because, okay, 5. We'll go down to 40 lands, maybe 39. So let's see. So 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So just trying to make sure we go appropriately. So that puts us 37 there. So we probably could cut 2 more. Okay, so 11 islands, 4 swamps. The ratio right now is cut 2 and 1. Okay. 35, that puts us at 40 lands with that. So realistically, we need to cut 11 more cards at most. Okay. I don't want to cut too many lands, so I don't want to get too greedy there, but we do have a lot of solid stuff. So maybe 1 more island there. So that puts us around 10. So 10 cards to cut. What 10 cards do we need to cut out of the deck? Let's see. Spell Bomb can be good to make sure that you can actually bounce stuff back if you have to deal with stuff that is protected from blue or black. A Null is also cheap too, so we'll keep that. Maybe the Combat Research, probably. So I think the card draw stuff with, let's see, Combat Research can go. Curiosity can go. Curious Obsession can go. Yes, these do help you draw cards, but we have enough now where we want to start playing stuff at instant speed. So we'll cut those and see if that actually might help us out a bit more here. And let's see. I don't know if the ops in the Consider are too or not strong enough. Let's see. We're still looking around here. Okay. Probably start cutting a lot of the cheaper or like the not very good. The counter spells that might not help. Like Disdainful Stroke is not bad, but we'll cut that one. 6 more cards. Arcane Signet, Sneaky Snacker. It's fine. Likeness. We don't want to cut back also on too much of the card draw here. And also the stuff that helps us out here. Hypnotic, right? It's a 2-in-1. So I guess we'll keep that. Spell Stutter. Definitely keep Remand. Definitely not an easy set of cuts here because we want to make sure that we have enough fairies, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we have fairies that help us out here a smidge. Fly here. Wow, 6 cards. Okay. I guess we'll cut Graveshifter. Cut back on the 4-drops here. High Fake Trickster, keep. Dream Spoilers, keep. Spell Scorn. Crippling Fear for Wrathing. Rankle. Yes. Yes. Okay. Still trying to... We're almost done, everybody. Don't worry. 5 more cards we got to cut. How many fairies do we have? 29 fairies. That's actually quite a good chunk there. So maybe we might be able to cut a couple fairies that are on the weaker side. Tome Raider we can cut. 4 more cards. Maybe we have too many counter spells. I don't know. But they do help us draw some cards. Maybe we don't need the Flare Denial. I mean, we could... Actually, no, we'll keep that one. Let's actually cut some of the weaker stuff here in the 2-drop slide. So maybe Fairy Duelist can go bye-bye. We'll have plenty of ways of drawing into more stuff here. So 3 more cards. Let's see. Remand. Do we want to cut the Remand? Or the Night Veil Sprites? But they also provide surveilling, so that actually would help us out too. Nightshade Stinger is not horrible, but it's also not the best. All right, we'll cut that one. Down to 2. 2 more. 39. Let's see. What's our curve at? 2.1. Actually, we probably could afford to get away with one more island there. Okay, so 1 more card's got to get cut. What is our last card to cut? All right. Still thinking, everybody. Don't worry. We're almost done. I'll cut the opt for now. Okay. I think this should be okay here. So, Fae tempo upgrades. All right. So, that's it, everybody. We got this one. Okay. So, well done. Okay. So that's going to be the upgraded version of the deck, everybody. Again, not usually I do this midstream, but I wanted to see what we can do to see if we can upgrade it here on the spot here. So, let's get the right one, though. Okay, so we should be good here now. And let's give this a shot. So we'll play now the upgraded one for the remainder of the stream. So for the mass, like, what was it, 30-ish minutes? We'll see what we can do to make this much more better. All right, game face on. Let's do this. Okay, so we're playing against dinosaurs. So as always, it's always going to be a frustrating matchup here, but we do have a lot of counter spells to make that in our favor. Okay, so let's see. Can we get there with this plan? Okay. Jetmir's Garden. Okay, that's cute. Malachor Rebirth. Okay, so we're playing against Pantlaza. Surveil lands for days. Okay, we got the Ponder. That's good. Play the Verge and pass. So Bira comes down next turn, or at the end of this turn. Assuming our opponent doesn't play anything scary. Alright. Here come the fairies, their opponents. Okay, so with that, we will swing here. And we will wait it out. Thankfully for this plan now, we can definitely have a lot more flash flying stuff. Okay, opponents. Flooded Strand. Remember that, again, you can put in for a deck like this. If you're upgrading, you actually don't have to limit yourself on the amount of fetches you can do. I only do it just because, realistically, I just want to play more fun stuff that is more in tune with the deck. Okay, Mana Leak. No, opponent. You're not getting that off. Okay, we got the slip out the back. That's good. Marsh. Okay. Down to 18. All right, so let's see. Bring in Sleep Cursed Bay. Make our opponent lose 1 life. So we can untap it if we want to. But otherwise, the stun counters will go away just eventually. Okay, in the meantime, let's see. Opponents. Pantlaza coming in, so that's got to go bye-bye. Sorry, opponents. Denied. Okay. Sneaky Snacker. That's cute. Let us put in Sneaky Snacker. Train our opponent for 1. Down to 14. Alright. We are managing ourselves here before our opponent starts going a little too far. Okay. Defense of the Heart. Okay. Let's flash in Fairy Mastermind. Train our opponent for 1 there. Mocking Sprite's cute too. So let's see. Let's first off, let's ponder. Okay, so, how do we do this here? Okay, I think we'll do it this way. Shuffle, decline, draw a card. Okay. Down to 7. Opponent, you have 1 turn to go off here. Okay, so our opponent here is going to try to do the thing. What'd they get? 2 big creatures. If we have to, Obira can use Slip Out the Back to then survive. Okay, so Defense of the Heart. Okay. Okay, so they gain life. But we also draw a card off of that from Fairy Mastermind, so that's cute. Okay, so our opponent will get the Fill the Profane. They hit Obira. And they Farseek. Okay, so we'll let the Farseek resolve first. And then we'll go from here. Okay, Surveil Land. Annoying. Okay, from here, Slip Out the Back. Oh, hold on. Actually, Fairy Vandal for value. Drain our opponent, Slip Out the Back. Phew. Okay. So it is out of the way for a turn. Small price to pay, but I think we might be able to get there. Pantlaza. They will do stuff here. They discover. Can we make a rally and comeback here? Drover the Mighty. Okay. So, Night Veil Sprites. That's cute. Our opponent lose 1 life. Let's see. Fatal. Wow, we can't really Fatal Push anything but the Drover. Okay, but at least it's out of the way. Down at 6. Is that enough? We'll find out here. Okay, opponent, you need to rally back with a ton of life in just a moment. If you can't do that, then hopefully we can win here. But okay, dinosaurs, they're not easy. Pantlaza gets a ton of value, and usually every time I face against dinosaurs, I never really can win against them. Okay. Opponents. Hulking Raptor, okay. Okay, Thwatley. She does her thing. But yeah, Anybody who's seen my streams, you know I have a hard time dealing with dinosaurs. I don't know why. Why is it dinosaurs I always have a hard time with? That's the one creature type. Okay, got to draw a card at least, so I guess that's fine. Opponent's still doing their Discover shenanigans. We get the Cultivates. It's still going to be a scary turn here, but I think we might be able to get the win. Okay, is that all, opponents? Okay, so there you go. They can swing, but they're not going to get the victory against us. So, whew, we actually got a win against dinosaurs. Usually we always struggle with them, but we managed to do it that time. Wow, okay. The tempo was just enough for us to survive the hit. Even if they swung, they could not survive on the backswing. Flying, everybody. All right, so Scout for Zyres, that's cute. All right, let's keep it going. Let's see what we can do more with fairies here. All right, so as we're getting near the end of the stream, as a friendly reminder for everybody, if you do like any of the content that we do, and if you are enjoying the streams, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are watching, whether it's on Instagram, X, Twitch, or YouTube. As you already know, for those of you that have been watching for a while, we usually do 2 streams a week. We're going to see if we can squeeze in a 3rd bonus stream sometime during the weekend. For those of you that want to be true fire friends and want to hang out with me, maybe you want to watch me play some other fun stuff, and we can hang out together. If you want to, again, chat with me and also our group of fiery friends, we do have a Discord. The link, of course, will be in the details of this video once the stream is over for today. Or at the very least, if you actually really want to be a super helpful individual, we also have a Patreon where we'll start throwing up again more bonus footage of extra decks that sometimes don't also make it onto the regular videos. And any of the live streams you do miss that are non-Magic related will end up also on Patreon, along with a members only playlist on YouTube. But any and all support you provide for me is going to be support that I greatly appreciate, no matter how you want to support me. All links, again, will be in the details below once we're done today. So thank you one more time to everybody who has been watching today's stream. I know I'm not the most entertaining individual, but I try to at least bring a little bit of humor, and I try to bring in a little insight as to what's going on with the board state. If anything else, I like to think I'm decently informative on the game, even if I'm not the best player, and I tend to misplay a lot. But still, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, while I got that out of the way, let's see. Opponent's playing another alchemy card, so boo on that, but that's okay. It's all good, everybody. Vivisa Orbital Overseer. So I'm guessing this is an Edge of Eternity's alchemy card. I've never seen this card before. Okay, enters, conjure a card, and then they make a lander token. So it's some kind of Bant landfall? Okay. I'm trying to see what they can get. Okay. So basically they can get a lot of planets with what they're doing. Okay, that's fine. Meanwhile, opponent doing some mulliganing. Anything else, opponents? What you got? Okay. So for now, play the Urborg and play the Ether Spellbomb. Okay, so we have now our tempo set to go. Forest, Land of War Elves, okay. Alright, we gotta slow down our opponent no matter what. So with that, cut down. Okay. No problem. Okay, what else we got, opponents? Island, Drover the Mighty. Alright, they're still trying to ramp. So we will slow them down as much as we can. Ping ourselves. Bounce away their creature. Snare Master Sprite, that's cute. Okay, we can also flash in Vendilion Click. That's good. Okay, Obira will be coming in once they play their next creature, or whatever they want to do. Okay, Island. Okay, Drover's coming back. Let's bring in Obira. So, here's how we do this. Snare Master Sprite. Ping our opponent here. Pay the 2. Stun it, so that means it's out from being tapped for a land. At least for now. So that buys us time. And there you go, opponent. Alright, we'll take that win, everybody. Okay, I guess opponents don't want their stuff out-tempoed, so yay. Victory still. A win is a win, so I will take it. Alright, feeling good now. Feeling much better. And thankfully, it looks like the stream finally stabilized. I don't know what happened there. I guess we're just having connection issues. But again, sorry about that, everybody. But it looks like we're doing much better now. The only thing I will remind everybody is if we do in the future another live stream for a much more powerful game, because when we were playing Dead Space, I learned quickly that my computer struggles a little bit to try to run a live stream and also try to run a PC game at a much stronger level. So that means I had to cut a couple of places where I usually multi-stream to. Something I've learned about that moving forward. But I'll put it up to another vote later on. If you guys want to see me continue, what is it? We were playing Dead Space a couple weeks ago. If you guys want to see me continue that game, let me know. Or if you want to jump to a new game or something else, we'll put it to a vote soon. But until then, okay, so we're playing against Srom, disguised as Fearon, Swordmaster. That's kind of interesting. Okay, for now, let us ponder the possibilities. Okay. All right, we good here. Okay, so we got down. Shuffle, nope, decline. Draw a card. Okay, so we pondered up now our next 2 draws, which is going to be a lot of spot removal. Urborg, and we will pass here. If our opponent does not play their card, but they do, okay. Sorry, opponent, go for the throat. Too bad. Okay, so that buys us time. We're definitely going to need that time. And we will wait it out. We'll get Obira. Cast down is only awkward because that's the only one we can't use against Srom here, but that's okay. If they bring in anything else, we'll be fine. Obira coming down. All right. Got the preordain. That's cute. And let's see here. Well, actually, we will preordain. Scry 2. Okay, so we got the Sleep Cursed Fae. I think we also got the Gloom Lake Verge. Okay, we'll draw that card. Get the Gloom Lake in. Night Veil Sprites. So while Fearon/Saram can come in next turn if he's got another land, Cast Down can't do anything to it anyway, so while annoying as that is, we still have other options to still find a way around. Okay, drain our opponent for 1. We'll swing. Down to 22. We also have Crippling Fear if it comes down to that. So there's still options. Fable Passage. They sacking it. Okay. I suppose we can also reponder again or preordain. Oh, Cloud. Ooh, okay. Cloud's a good one. I'd like to get a copy of him, but he's still too expensive for me to buy. Too rich for my blood. Okay, so they got the Sword of Feast and Famine. That does protect them against some of our creatures, so that's going to be frustrating, but we can still do stuff. All right. We'll bring in High Faith Trickster. We'll Surveil. Okay, opponents. Okay, Annul. That'll be good for later. We can counter some equipment that way, which would be great. But it's going to be a little while before we can get to that. We got to start tempoing in our fairies now that we have High Fix Trickster. Oh, we can cast them at... Oh, this actually helps us out either way with Crippling Fear. That actually might be helpful. Okay, Sword of Fire and Ice. Ugh. Also not a very good card. Oh. So that means we will lose Obira. That's annoying. Get to draw a card off of that. Put that back to the command zone. And they also get to do it twice because of Cloud's ability. Huh. Okay. But it's not protected from black, so we can Crippling Fear if we need to in a pinch. I don't want to waste that Wrath now, but I think I might not have a choice. So in that case, then, Crippling Fear now. We got to get rid of Cloud. So, name Fairy. Cloud dead. Surveil. Okay, the cut down actually will be good for future. Down to 17. Okay. Opponent's still gonna play Saram. Okay, that's good. So from there, we'll swing. Surveil. Okay, keep the land. Okay, opponents, nothing yet. If they equip, which I want them to do, then that means that should... Okay. They'll draw a card off of that. we'll counter that. Opponents. All right, good. Okay. One big sword is gone. Okay, cut down now. Do you have an answer, opponents? Oh, they do have the Sentry Shelter. Dang. Okay, because we can't even destroy it because the cast down does not hit legendaries. Toots. Okay, it's fine. They protect on black, so we lose the card, but that's okay. We have another plan. We have another plan. So 17. Okay, we lose the card. That's okay. Still annoying, but we can still get around it right now. So, Halo Forger. All right, we'll pay the 2. It's expensive, but this is what we're going to need right now. Pay the 2. And we will go for the throat. Denied. Phew, okay. Okay, still doing what we can to keep Firon/Srom off base here. Not easy. Even with all of our tempo stuff, it's still going to be tough. Having 7 planes and the swords are going to be very hard for us to get around. Okay, so... I guess we'll do it now. Vera. Sleep Purse Fae. We ping. Down to 15. Down to 12. Okay, so they have creatures you control, have flying, first strike. Okay, so that's the only thing that's going to really kind of screw us over here is just the fact that this will be a hard thing to get around. But having that protection... Okay. Alright. Get that damage in. Sword of Fire and Ice. Still not too bad of a card. Not quite as good as some of the other equipment that have now been popping out of the game. But it still can put in work. Okay, bring that back. Thankfully, though, we do have... Wait, hold on. Oh, I forgot they have protection from... They have protection from all the colors. Okay. I don't know if actually, now that I realize we might not win this one. This might be a problem for us. All right. We'll surveil. So... Protection from... Oh, okay. Devoid technically can help us, but not really? Okay, so no attacks. Emrakul can block, but... Well, actually, no. Actually, wait, no. No, it can block because it has no color. So it's a colorless creature, even if it has blue in it. But it doesn't look like it's going to help us with this one. Okay, wow. Those swords alone are really... Magnetic Shuffler, okay. Okay, I think we're cooked on this one. Yeah, we're cooked. I can block here, but that's not going to be enough. Because also that has First Strike and Trample. Down to 2. And with the sword, that does mean that any... Yep. They ping us. And we are dead. Well, that's unfortunate. But sometimes equipment decks actually do catch you off guard sometimes. So it's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. Okay, so looking at the clock right now, we're going to have to wrap this up in a little bit, everybody. So the final match is here. Win or lose, no matter what happens, we're going to wrap it up here now. Once we are done, we'll cover the deck overall, how we felt about it, the budget one, the non-budget one. And if you stick around for just a little bit beyond that, we'll give a sneak peek as to what's to come for the next deck tech and also future live streams to come. So thank you one more time, everybody. We're going to be wrapping this up again soon. Do apologize that sometimes, again, we can't stream as long as I'd like to, but we make do with what we have. So thank you one more time. If I had more time in the world, I would love to have longer streams, and of course, I would love to do more daily content. But until then, let's see if we can make this work. All right. Locking in now.
Time to
Yeah, all right. Okay. We're facing off against a colorless deck, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know This either can be horrible or this might be just fine. We will find out. Demolition Field might also be one of our more key pieces here. Reliquary Field. Okay. And then we'll wait it out. Okay. Opponents. Fishcar Raceway. Okay, so they got their engine started. Semblance Anvil. Well, I guess we'll Lofty Denial now. Gotta slow them down as much as we can. Demolition Field. Play the Patchwork Banner. Naming Fairy, of course. Okay, so Cultivator's Caravan. Okay, it's fine. Shadow Spear. Okay, so from here... Emerald's Messenger. We will... Prophecy Edict Memory. Draw a card. That triggers it off. Makes a spawn. Put it on the Emrakul. Okay. So we do have a decent blocker for now. Mystic Forge. A little scary, but it's not unbeatable. Okay, slip out the back might be helpful for later. Okay, so how do we do this here? None of those really are something worth blowing up just yet. So in the meantime, swing here. Embergold Messenger hits them to 21. So we have options here. We get 3 steps ahead. Yours familiar. Okay, so in that case then, counter that. We can do up to 5, so we counter that. And then draw 2. Okay. And there you have it, everybody. So it looks like that was going to be a quick one for us, but we still got our win just the same. Take that, opponent. Your colorless shenanigans are no match for our counter spells and tempo. All right. Well, I mean, that ended a little bit quicker than I thought, but that's okay, everybody. I did say that was going to be the final one for today, so we will leave it at that. But before we go, as always, let's talk about the deck as a whole. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, so let's cover this real quick. So our Fairy Tempo deck, Fey Tempo if you will here, did do pretty well. We kind of had a little bit of a hiccup in the early part when we were facing off against nothing but Finn the Fangbearer decks. But besides the poison shenanigans, and against most of the other opponents out there, we did pretty well for ourselves here. The budget deck actually works perfectly well. So if you do like this and you don't want to spend a ton, you can play the budget deck much better than some of our other budget decks we have done in the past. I do like what the deck is trying to do, and realistically, fairies are only just going to get better once we get to Lorwyn. So we're actually just a couple months away where I think if you want to, I would say build this and put it in the back burner, even if you don't play it now, because it's going to get better very soon. But even if you don't do that, playing it today just feels really, really good. I love the tempo plays we can do. Obviously, I know a lot of people out there don't want to deal with counter spells, but against them, you're going to love the counter spells you can provide this deck with. Lots of card draw, lots of ways of just disrupting your opponent with spot removal and stuff like that. However, if you're going to take this into a much more stronger level, that's where the upgraded one will definitely shine the most, because with this, we have some wraths here. We have stronger ways of punishing our opponents. We didn't get a chance to play Talion itself, but this can be a great way to hose a lot of players out there, depending on what their mana curve looks like. So keep that in mind. Still a lot of awesome options for you. If you want to go more counterspell heavy, you can go nuts with that. If you want to go more spot removal and wrath heavy while protecting your fairies, you can also totally do that. So I do like this deck. It does have a lot of ways of just messing with your opponent, and it tends to be very, I would say, it can be very annoying against a lot of opponents out there. You saw a lot of opponents did not want to deal with how we bounced away their key pieces, destroyed their commanders at instant speed, or counterspelled a lot of stuff. So if you're going to be that kind of player, if you like playing a little bit of, like playing tempo decks, if you are a fan of fairies and their mischievous ways, definitely play the deck. I assure you, whether you play it budget or not, you will not be disappointed. So yeah, I like it. I do like the decks. I'll probably keep maybe one of these and just kind of hold on to it until we get to the rest of Lorwyn soon enough. So just FYI. Now, before we end for today completely, here's what's going to be coming up for the future set of deck techs we're doing. So some way, somehow, I'm trying to find a way to either make a red prison deck or a Goyf deck work in other formats. but we want to try to trim it down. I don't know how I'm going to try to make these budget, but I'm going to try my hardest, although it's almost impossible, but I think we can do it. So we're going to stick around for those. Otherwise, we still want to do at least one Fleam deck. This might be either, if not this week, definitely next week. That'll be the one we'll do just before we end up on Omen Paths. And officially, we'll jump into Avatar. We have so many Avatar decks that I've already kind of come up with, so I'm looking forward to Avatar. That'll be a lot of good stuff coming up soon. Our next basically deck is going to be coming up, not this week coming up, so that should be the 3rd week of November or the final week. Basically, Arabella. So we will have an Arabella deck ready to go for you guys. That'll be, again, another ultra budget deck. I might redo a little bit of the fairy deck to make it a basically deck in the future, but we'll hold on to that and see what we want to do. As far as anything beyond that, I know, and let's be honest here, the worst kept secret right now is that obviously VV is going to get banned soon in Standard. But maybe for those of you out there that don't want your VVs to get completely wrecked, you can play VV in other formats. So we are going to do maybe one that I think I might lose. I might lose some subscribers for this one, but we have a Wizard of Ping deck. So this is going to be a really gnarly deck for Historic specifically that takes advantage of VV's ability. Now they kind of modified it so you have to tap it, although that honestly just makes the card even more broken. I'll explain, of course, once we get to that deck tech next week. So that'll be, again, in the future, everybody. Our next budget one will be a VV/Niv Mizzet deck, and of course the upgraded one will also get recorded soon. But that's otherwise going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you again to everybody that did show up for today. So shout outs to you guys in the chat. So MTG Hillbilly, thank you again for popping up there. Mono Musa as well. There was also another person that I saw that I'm going to see if I can pull out real quick here. I want to make sure I give everybody a proper shout out as best as I can, because again, I want to be kind and helpful to everybody out there. Hold on one second. I think I got that person. Hold on. Still trying to pull up the stream on my end here. All right. So with that, and again, I saw here a Pro Bowl original. Hi, hello. Thanks again also for popping in for that as well. So thanks again for the hi as well. If you don't, for those of you that are watching and don't make a comment, that's perfectly fine. I still appreciate all of you that were watching today. And everybody else out there, we will get a chance to do this again. I'm looking at most likely Saturday will be the next live stream. So we'll be a couple of YouTube shorts until then. And again, we'll be hopefully talking about Avatar and making a lot of decks for it for the remainder of the year once that set comes out. That looks like it's going to be a much more better set than Spider-Man/Open Paths. But enough of poo-pooing on that set. Let's going to end today on a good note, because again, I want you all to have a wonderful day out there. Have fun out there, everybody. We'll talk more about, again, key cards that I'm going to be putting up in a couple of shorts coming up soon, talking about Avatar. But again, until then, enjoy the rest of your day. And before we go, I do want to leave you on the most important note that I always like to leave everybody. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again on Saturday, everybody. Later.